What's going on YouTube? Pyro Tycoon. Now there's a lot of videos I really want to make, a lot of topics I really need to cover, but I feel like I have to go over this. And it is the issue with the Wii U. Now there's like a couple minor things, but this is a big, well, kind of a big deal. It is the Wii U's CPU. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to sit there and be like, but Pyro Tycoon, the Wii U has a GPU, which means it's going to be fucking crazy because it's going to, the GPU is going to be doing shit the CPU used to do and blah, 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 and all this other bullshit. But that doesn't change the fact that the Wii U's CPU is going to be weaker than the 360. I mean, the 360 came out 2005, right? Forever ago, right? Like, at the very least, the Wii U CPU should have been better than 360 and PS3. I mean, I know, alright, I know there's a GPU, but it doesn't change the fact that the CPU is weaker than the Xbox 360s that came out in 2005. I mean, I'm sorry, there's just no excuse for that. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, the GPU is going to let it do stuff the CPU used to do, so not much stress on the CPU, so it'll work fine. Yes, for now. It'll work fine for now. Because the 360, I mean, the Wii U's basically going to get, like, kind of ports from 360 and PS3. And those consoles are old. But what happens when Sony rolls out PS4, when Microsoft rolls out the Xbox 720? See, now here's the issue. The Wii U, I mean, everything else is good, but the CPU is going to be the weak link. This could potentially, screw over Nintendo next generation, especially now that console generations are getting longer. Like, this is a big deal. It really is. Like, up until this generation, console generations were like, what, 5 years, 5.5 years? And now this console generation has been going on since 2005. This is the longest console generation we've seen. And I don't think that's going to change in the future. I really don't. So the Wii U, we can expect it to be around for probably like 6, 7, 8 years. And if it's coming out of the gate with a CPU that's already weaker than a console that came out in 2005, it is going to show its age pretty quick, especially when next-gen Sony and Microsoft consoles roll out. Now, I know I've talked in the past about how the next generation is not going to be leaps and bounds ahead of this generation, and that will still hold true. The Wii U, while being superior to this generation, is not leaps and bounds ahead. Basically, what Nintendo did, native 1080p, 60 frames per second, which is pretty much going to be the sweet spot that all the other consoles are going to hit. You don't really need anything more than that because the TV's, only being 1080p. And then 60 frames a second is just, it's good. You could do better if you really, really, really wanted to for some reason, but 60 frames a second is smooth. So that's going to be a sweet spot that the consoles are going to hit, and what the PS4 and Xbox 720 are going to do. But also, the part of the next generation comes with the processing power. More RAM and then stronger CPUs. Now, the GPU is going to help out a bit, but like I said, the CPU's old. And the fact that, a lot of the cost, there's a good portion of the cost for the Wii U. It comes from the controller, because the controller is batshit insane. It's got all this stuff in it, and that's really cool and everything, but that's what's driving the price of the Wii U, to where it is. Even though it's a very reasonable price, at $300, at $350, that's a good price, but you gotta remember, a lot of that's from the controller. Now, Sony and Microsoft, their consoles are gonna come out like, what, 2013, 2014? So, this is going to be a big advantage. Well, this could be an advantage for them as far as their system hardware goes. As time goes on, the hardware is going to get cheaper. So Nintendo is using technology from I think it was 2008. So Sony and Microsoft could use technology from 2009. By the time that 2013, 2014 rolls around, they could use tech from 2009, 2010. And it could be the same price as the Wii U, and Nintendo has already said they're not going to lower the price. Basically, the longer they wait, the better technology they can use at an affordable price. But even if they released a console like 2013, 2014, same price as the Wii U. If they do not go with some crazy, tablet controller, they don't go with, crazy, Kinect 2.0, if they do not go that route, they can release a much more capable system at the exact same price as Nintendo's releasing the Wii U for, like I said, just because that controller is a lot of the cost. So basically what it comes down to is the Wii U has all the right stuff except for this CPU. Despite the fact that there's a GPU that will help out, the CPU is still old as fuck, basically. It is weak as hell. And like I said, the console is going to show its age a lot more rapidly than the other consoles, and it's going to cripple it in the long run because the next generation is going to run, as long as this one or maybe even longer. So this is going to be a big issue. Now, Nintendo could save themselves. Nintendo could be the lead console next generation, but it all comes down to how they use the head start. If they don't use this 1 or 2 year head start to their advantage, they will get fucked over next gen. Now, of course, Nintendo is playing their cards. They are playing their cards right. They are. They're trying to get the third parties on board. They're trying to get some exclusive games on the Wii U that have people interested. The hardware is intriguing. The controller looks pretty amazing. It's fun. I've played with it. It's pretty fucking cool. So that's what they're gambling on for next generation. If they do not get these third parties on board within this head start period, then they'll be screwed. It's at the point now where Nintendo knows they can't just keep relying on their first party. They've done it for the N64, GameCube, and the Wii, but they can't go on like this forever. They need that third party support to push their system as well. And that's why they're, kind of doing this. How it's looking, it looks like Nintendo could go either way next generation. They could be the lead platform for developers, or they could just be brushed off the side again like they were, this generation with the Wii. So, like I said, it all comes down to basically how it plays out, how many third parties really jump on board after this. I know there's a lot of games, third parties saying that they're with Nintendo right now, but later down the line, that can change very easily. So it just really comes down to how Nintendo can get that third party support and keep it going. But it is kind of sad for a company whose motto is leave luck to heaven. They sure are relying on a lot of it. Anyways, Power Tycoon, I'm out.